Hi everybody, Johnny here. I hope you're doing great today. You can find more good math at jmathpage.com. Today we're going to be thinking about multiplying by 3's using a special tool. We're going to be using an array. Okay? So sometimes you've probably seen your tables written out like this. So let's think about the 3's table. 1 times 3, 2 times 3, 3 times 3, 4 times 3, 5 times 3, 6 times 3, 7 times 3, 8 times 3, 9 times 3, and we'll stop today at 10 times 3. And maybe you're working to memorize all of these different multiples of 3. But there's another way to think about them, and we're going to think about them today in terms of using an array. Now, an array is simply using rows and columns. So let's make some rows and columns now. Now, I'm going to decide to make 3 rows since we're talking about 3's today. So I'll make 3 rows. Let's see, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so far I'm very organized. So right now I have 3 rows. Okay, so I have 1, 2, and 3. Now I want to make some columns now. Columns will go up and down, they'll be vertical. Our rows were horizontal. So how many columns should I make? Well, I think I'll make 10, since we're thinking about 10 times 3 today. So I'll start over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That's pretty good. Now, what I have now is I have 10 columns. I should number them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can always do this for yourself, you know. So let's think about this for a moment. I'm going to be looking at these different problems here. 1 times 3. If I'm thinking about it in terms of columns and rows, I want to think about 1 column and 3 rows. So what I want to do is I want to mark that somehow. So let me go ahead and mark it, okay? So 1 column, 3 rows. 1 column, intersects at 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows. So I'm now marking the intersections. And this is going to help us with our multiplication. So let's think about that. 1 column, 3 rows. How many intersections? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we could say that 1 column and 3 rows makes 3 intersections. What about 2 columns and 3 rows? Well, let's see. I go over to 2 columns, 3 rows, 1, 2, 3. I mark all the intersections. Now I had 3 intersections here, so now I have 4, 5, and 6. So now I have 6 altogether. So I can say 2 columns and 3 rows makes 6 intersections. What about 3 times 3? 3 columns, 3 rows. 3 columns and 3 rows. I'll mark the intersections. Now I know I had 6 here before, so let's count on. 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9 intersections altogether. So 3 rows and 3 columns and 3 rows gives us 9 intersections altogether. 4 times 3, 4 columns, 3 rows. 4 columns, 3 rows. I'll mark the intersections. I'll start at 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 intersections now. 4 columns and 3 rows gives us 12 intersections. 5 times 3, 5 columns, 3 rows, 5 columns, 3 rows. Okay, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, so 5 columns, 3 rows, 5 times 3 gives us 15. Let's look at 6 times 3. 6 columns and 3 rows. 6 columns, 3 rows. Counting on, 15, 16, 17, and 18. We'll call this one 18. So 6 times 3, or 6 columns and 3 rows, gives us 18 intersections. 7 times 3, 7 columns, 3 rows. I have 7 columns, 3 rows. Counting on, 18, 19, 20, and 21. I can say 7 times 3, or 7 columns and 3 rows, gives us 21 intersections. 8 times 3, 8 columns and 3 rows. Let's see, here's 8 columns. We'll count our 3 rows now. Counting on, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, so 8 times 3, or 8 columns and 3 rows, gives us 24 intersections. 9 times 3, 9 columns, 3 rows, 9 columns, 3 rows, 24, 25, 26, 27. So we can say 9 times 3, or 9 columns and 3 rows, 9 columns by 3 rows, will give us 27 intersections. One last one. 10 times 3, or 10 columns by 3 rows. 10 columns, 3 rows. 27, 28, 29, 30. I have 30 intersections now. So I can say 10 times 3, or 10 columns by 3 rows, will give us 30 intersections. So you can see how an array using columns and rows can help us better understand how to do multiplication. Now I need you to do a little work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take away all of the numbers that I have over here already. And I want you to think about the array and see if you can supply the answers this time. So let's try it out together. Okay? I'll ask the question and you see if you can make the response. Here we go. 1 times 3 equals how much? 2 times 3 equals 3 times 3 equals 4 times 3 equals 5 times 3 equals 6 times 3 equals 7 times 3 equals 8 times 3 equals 9 times 3 equals and 10 times 3 equals. How did you do? Now I'm going to make it a little more challenging. I'm going to do them out of order. Try again. Here we go. 4 times 3 equals 7 times 3 equals 3 times 3 equals 8 times 3 equals 2 times 3 equals 9 times 3 equals 1 times 3 equals 10 times 3 equals 5 times 3 equals, there's one more, 6 times 3 equals. How did you do? Let's check them to see what they are. 1 times 3 equals 3. 2 times 3 equals 6. 3 times 3 equals 9. 4 times 3 equals 12. 5 times 3 equals 15. 6 times 3 equals 18. 7 times 3 equals 21. 8 times 3 equals 24. 9 times 3 equals 27. 10 times 3 equals 30. Now we can look back and see all of these in the numbers of intersections. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, and 30. And here again, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, and 30. So we can see how an array can help us with our multiplication. I hope this has been useful to you.